All right, let's get right into it. Everyone is talking about GPT-5. Everyone's buzzing about Gemini 3. But while that's happening, there is a totally revolutionary model being trained on the most powerful supercomputer ever built, and hardly anyone is paying attention. After digging through a ton of leaked specs and insider reports, it's become super clear that Grok 5 isn't just another little chatbot upgrade, no. This could be the single most ambitious AI project on the planet.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we're going to look at a surprising pattern that kind of suggests we shouldn't be so quick to dismiss this. Then we'll take a tour of the absolutely mind-boggling hardware that's powering it all. We'll explore how its unique mind actually thinks. After that, we'll see how it stacks up in the benchmark wars. And finally, we'll zoom out to see the bigger picture and, of course, the very real risks involved.
Okay, so before we even get into the crazy tech specs, we have to talk about something most people just completely overlook when they hear Elon Musk making big claims about AI. See, there's a pattern here, and you really have to understand it to get what's at stake. He has this track record, right, of turning things that experts literally called impossible into these massive industry-changing realities. I mean, with SpaceX, with Tesla, with Starlink, he just rewrote the rules. So the million-dollar question, maybe the trillion-dollar question, is can he do it again? This time with the ultimate challenge, artificial general intelligence.
This timeline really tells the whole story. When SpaceX started, aerospace execs were laughing. Reusable rockets? A pipe dream. Even Neil Armstrong, a legend, publicly doubted it. Then, boom, 2015, a Falcon 9 rocket lands itself, and the entire industry had to scramble and completely recalibrate overnight. And it's the same story with Tesla. Experts were predicting its collapse right before it scaled massively. With Starlink, scientists literally said low-latency internet from space was physically impossible. And now Musk has put a very specific number on achieving AGI.
And this quote right here? This perfectly captures the vibe at the time. This wasn't just some quiet skepticism, you know? This was very public dismissal from industry heavyweights. Critics were adamant that Tesla was hemorrhaging money and was just circling the drain.
And, well, you know the rest. That's the pattern. Despite all that intense criticism, Tesla clawed its way through production hell and became the most valuable automaker on the planet. The impossible suddenly became inevitable. So, here's the crucial takeaway from all this. When a person with this specific track record puts a probability on something that pretty much everyone else is calling impossible, it is probably worth paying very, very close attention. Whether you're a fan or a critic, you just can't ignore the history here.
All right, now let's talk about the machine that actually makes Grok 5 possible, because this is where the story goes from interesting to absolutely wild. This isn't just about a clever algorithm. This is about the largest, most powerful dedicated AI training facility in the world, built from scratch.
Just to try and wrap your head around this number, the Colossus 2 facility down in Memphis, Tennessee is currently drawing about 1 gigawatt of power. That is enough to run a small city. And they're upgrading it to 1.5 gigawatts by April 2026 just to finish the final training runs for Grok 5. It's insane.
So what does all that raw power buy you? Well, it buys you a model with an estimated 6 trillion parameters. That's roughly 6 times bigger than GPT-4. But here's the thing, it's not just brute force. Grok 5 uses what's called a mixture of experts architecture, which means for any one question you ask it, only a fraction of those parameters actually activate. Musk calls this being smarter per byte. It's like having a massive library, but a genius librarian who only pulls the exact books you need. It's surgical intelligence at a massive scale.
I mean, this whole system is just a beast. It's already scaled past 200,000 of Nvidia's latest and greatest chips, and it's heading toward 1 million. It's backed up by the world's largest Tesla Megapack battery system, and it's all connected by 847 miles of networking fiber. Nobody else has this kind of vertically integrated hardware. This infrastructure right here is xAI's single biggest competitive advantage. It's their moat.
Okay, so we've covered the brawn, the hardware. But how does Grok 5 actually think? Because this is where it really starts to pull away from everything else on the market. It's moving way beyond a simple chatbot and into something much, much more complex.
Grok 5's whole architecture is built on a few core pillars. It's not just processing text and images and video separately, it understands them all together at the same time in one unified way. It's got a built-in fact checker, an internal team of AI agents that actually debate answers, a gigantic memory, and it even has the ability to pause and think before it gives you an answer to a really complex question.
So let's zoom in on this reality engine for a sec. Just think of it as the ultimate weapon against AI's biggest weakness, making stuff up. It plugs directly into the real-time data firehose of X, cross-referencing your question with community notes and whatever is breaking news right now. So if a major story breaks at 2 in the morning, Grok knows about it before Google's search index even has a chance to catch up.
Now this is really cool. Instead of just spitting out an answer, Grok 5 has an internal debate first. It creates these specialized agents, one for research, another for logic. It even has what they internally call a Lucas agent, which is a contrarian whose entire job is to play devil's advocate and poke holes in the other agent's conclusions, all before you get the final refined answer. It's basically like having a whole team of specialists collaborating on your prompt.
So the big question on everyone's mind, can Grok 5 actually compete with the big dogs? All these features sound impressive, for sure, but does any of it actually translate into better performance? Let's look at the numbers.
Okay, here's the tale of the tape. In coding, it's aiming for over 80% on SWE bench, and it uses that massive context window to understand entire codebases at once. In PhD-level science reasoning, it's targeting a score that would put it ahead of GPT 5.4 and neck with Gemini 3.1 Pro. But the number that really makes your head turn is the one for abstract reasoning.
This chart really puts it all into perspective. On the ARC-GI2 benchmark, which is designed to measure abstract reasoning, Grok 5 is targeting 75%. Just for context, GPT 5.2 scored just under 53%, and Claude was way down at 37.6. If Grok 5 hits that target, it's not just winning, it's playing a completely different sport.
But here's where Grok has an advantage that no other model can replicate right now. It's real-time intelligence. If you're a business that needs up-to-the-minute market research or sentiment analysis, that's a genuine game changer. Now, to be fair, critics correctly point out that this gives Grok let's say, a more abrasive personality, and it definitely introduces its own set of biases. These are very real trade-offs.
Now, here is the part that I think most people miss, and it might just be the most important piece of this entire puzzle. Grok 5 is not just another chatbot. It is being designed from the ground up to be the cognitive backbone, the central nervous system for the entire Musk ecosystem.
Just think about it for a second. Grok 5 is the reasoning engine for the Optimus robot. Any improvements to it feed directly into Tesla's full self-driving. It can be beamed down through Starlink to deliver AI literally anywhere on the planet. It's even being used by the Department of Defense. This isn't just about making a better product, it's about building an ecosystem designed to put AI into the physical world at every single level.
Now, of course, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't talk about the risks, because there are absolutely real ones. A project this ambitious, well, it comes with some pretty serious challenges and some very legitimate questions that we have to ask.
You see, the reality engine is designed to fight hallucinations. But let's be honest, relying on social media for your facts is a double-edged sword. That massive power consumption raises some tough environmental questions that seem to contradict Tesla's mission. And the whole AGI claim itself is really hard to verify, mainly because nobody can even agree on what AGI actually means. These are real, significant hurdles.
So what's the bottom line here? Whether Grok 5 actually achieves true AGI or simply shatters the boundaries of what we thought was possible, one thing is completely undeniable. The era of the simple, passive chatbot is over. We are now entering the age of reasoning agents, AIs that can see, think, and act. The public beta is expected soon, and if it delivers on even half of what these specs are promising, the entire AI landscape is about to shift dramatically. So the only question left is this a true vision of the future, or is it just the best hype campaign